Hey everyone, I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. I just wanted to update you guys on what's happening here in New Zealand regarding the virus. And also in this video, I'm just gonna say the virus because for some reason, YouTube demonetizes anyone who actually mentions the name. So without further ado, here's the video and also here's Coco so that you'll like this video for the YouTube algorithm. Coco, go say hi. Coco, Coco. Okay, you can go now. So in January, that's when I started to slowly build and buy stuff for our emergency supply. Maybe because I'm a minimalist, I actually never buy stuff unless we need to. Like for example, toilet paper. I buy toilet paper only when we're close to running out. So it started in January where I just slowly bought a little bit of this, a little bit of that during my normal grocery run. And I also started buying toilet paper early because I've seen what's happening to our neighbor in Aussie, wherein people are actually hoarding and physically fighting over toilet paper, and I just didn't want to run out.
The fight over toilet paper that went viral around the world.
I just want one pack. No, not one pack.
Now the 60-year-old mother and her 23-year-old daughter, who were wheeling a trolley full of rolls at Woolworths Chullora, have been charged with a fray and are due in court next month.
Luckily in New Zealand it's not that bad and hopefully we won't get to that level. I do see posts from people on social media wherein the toilet paper aisle is empty, but also supermarkets are on top of it and it gets restocked the next day. I actually have 2 packs of toilet paper and I kind of feel bad about it. So in this house, there are 3 people living in it, including myself. So it's for all of us. But I also have this feeling that we have more than enough and that I'm kind of hoarding. So that's why I feel bad. So supplies wise, we have 18 liters of water, 22 cans of meat and beans, lots of dried noodles, a sack of rice, 2 packs of toilet paper. We're also covered when it comes to flu medications and a little extra of everything like washing powder, shampoo, soap, and feminine products. On Feb 28, New Zealand confirmed its first case of the virus, and that's when you can actually feel people panic buying, most particularly in Auckland because the man lived in Auckland. A wholesale store actually temporarily closed in Auckland because they couldn't cope with the demand, and our Prime Minister actually discouraged people from stockpiling because that's exactly what's going to happen. The supermarket can't cope with the demand and that's when aisles will be left empty. In January, Ray was already talking about buying sacks of rice and I didn't think much of it, but the impact of that particular news on that day was that when Ray came home, he came home with 2 sacks of rice, one for us, one for his parents. We were actually like really low on rice, so we were due to buy 1, but we usually just buy like 10 kg sack of rice, but now we have a 20 kg rice and lots of noodles because of that announcement that day. Another major thing that happened was on March 14. Our Prime Minister announced that everyone arriving after March 16 was to self-isolate for 14 days. Ray and I actually had plans to go to Noosa, Australia 4 days after the announcement, so we ended up cancelling everything. And that was because it just meant that upon coming back to New Zealand, we would lose 2 weeks worth of income because the announcement was already out. It wasn't advised to travel, so I don't think that our work would pay for us to be self-isolated. And to be honest, I was looking forward to this trip for so long. I really wanted to go, and also at that time it wasn't that serious here in New Zealand. Like we had less than 5 cases, but also in hindsight, I guess it's much safer for everyone that we didn't go. We spent around $1,500 for our entire trip, so I spent that weekend just trying to get a refund. So to cancel our flights, I was on hold by Air New Zealand for more than an hour. We didn't get a full refund, but we got like the total in credits that we could use in 2 years, which was good. And our rental car, we got a full refund. Our Airbnb, we got a full refund. And also also I wanted to share this conversation I had with Airbnb customer support, because it's really like they were really reassuring and they handled the situation really well. So what happened was, the only way I could get a full refund from Airbnb was that I could get my flights canceled, and for 2 days I couldn't get hold of Air New Zealand because everyone was just ringing them after the announcement. So this is what they told me: don't worry, I'm going to be here for the next 48 hours so you can take your time. I thank you for your patience. There are millions of calls and emails that have to be made. Airlines like this hub of experts are doing our best to support these global circumstances. Don't stress about the refund. You have a team here that supports you. You are not alone in this case. I said thank you very much, and they said, I received people who had no way to return to their countries, who had no money to pay for other places, etc. It is a pleasure for me to support the community, so you must be calm, be patient, and we will make the changes when it is necessary. If I were in your position, I would feel just as you do. So that was really nice. I just wanted to share this little bit of positivity, I can't talk, amid this crisis. So Airbnb, whatever you're doing, good job. Regarding the 14-day isolation, police are actually randomly checking people who arrive after the deadline, and there are tourists who are getting deported because they are not adhering to the self-isolation rules. In my work, our management announced that anyone who came from a Category 1 country who arrived before the deadline were also advised to self-isolate. If you don't know, I actually work in theater, and we have, maybe on a normal morning shift, we would have around 110 staff walking around. So if a few people have it, it's so easy to give it to everyone else, and that will just shut down our department. And that's why it's so important for transmission precaution, especially in the hospital. But also the good thing is that the staff who are required to self-isolate, it will be a paid special leave because they left the country before the announcement of our Prime Minister. On Sunday, the day after the announcement, Ray and I actually went out at the waterfront. It was just nice to have a walk around, drink cider, and it was a really nice day, around 18 degrees, and it felt like everyone else had the same idea, because it felt like that was the last good day that we could actually enjoy in Wellington before this shitfuckery of a virus hits us hard. And after that day, it's only social distancing and essential errands like going to the supermarket. I feel like this video is getting really long, and I just want to end it by saying to remind yourself to wash your hands properly, avoid going outside unnecessarily, avoid social events, don't touch your face, and also think about what you're touching outside when it's like door handles, the ATM, surfaces, computers, the bus, and just like carry a hand sanitizer with you if you have it, because that will help out a lot. And last but not the least is to have an emergency fund. I feel like this is something that not many people are thinking about. So an emergency fund would be your living expenses in 6 months saved up, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know how hard your country will be hit by this virus. You might be forced to take leave without pay because like your company can't afford to pay people, and anything could happen really. And it just means that you have no income coming in, but you still have expenses going out. You still have to pay rent, you have to pay your utilities, electricity, internet, your Netflix. So it's just something to think about. Have an emergency fund ready because you might need it. So I'll just end the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all well. I hope you're healthy, and if you're bored, if you're in self-isolation, leave me a comment and I'll reply to you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! And also, here's Coco so that you will like this video for the YouTube algorithm. Coco, come here! Come here! You need to help me make money! Come here! Come! Coco! Coco! Here's Coco.
You can't wait on other people to be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just got to run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream.